Welcome to our presentation. We're Lloyds Banking Group. We are one of the largest retail banks in the UK, and we are a financial services firm. Lloyds Banking Group is made up of Lloyds Bank, Halifax and Bank of Scotland, which are the high street branches you must have seen on the high street. And we're also made up of other companies such as Lex Auto Lease, Black Horse, which are both motor finance and leasing companies, as well as Scottish Widows. And we have other subsidiaries as part of our group as well. Today we're here to talk to you about apprenticeship schemes and graduate programs available at Lloyds Banking Group, and share some experiences with some fellow apprentices that work for Lloyds Banking Group, Billy and Jags. So without further ado, I'll hand over to Billy to introduce himself and tell him more about his role at Lloyds Banking Group.
Thank you, Eamon. Hi everyone, good to be here. So as Eamon mentioned, I'm an apprentice. I'm currently on the level 7 internal audit apprenticeship scheme. So what that means is obviously I work in internal audit, which probably means nothing to a lot of you, right? And it didn't mean a lot to me before I started, so I understand that feeling. In terms of what I do, I work in risk management. So obviously I look across the bank and see kind of the whole group. As part of the apprenticeship scheme, which has been really, really beneficial for myself, is I've had quite a few rotations where I've seen a lot of the group. So my first placement was in retail, so I worked with the retail business looking at conduct risk primarily. How do we treat the customer fairly? How do we make sure we're doing that in the right way? How do we make sure we're adhering to regulation, etc. I then moved over into the treasury team, so group corporate treasury, which as you can imagine is completely different to the retail business. So I spent 9 months working in there, then did a stint in insurance and wealth, and I'm now currently working in automation. So the apprenticeship scheme has really given me a wide variety of risk as well as business division to work within. I'll now hand over to Jags, who will introduce himself.
Hi everyone, my name is Jags. I am a level 4 apprentice. I work as a software developer at Lloyds Bank. So my role primarily revolves around all the cool things you would normally think about when people code. Not so much the matrix side, but if you think about a typical hacker sitting in his bedroom, coding away all night, that's type of the things I do in the work environment. So the mobile phone banking app, I work on that. I design the UI, UX. Any bugs, any issues, I'm usually the first port of call, so I work with my team to fix those. Most of the programming I've learned on the job. Before I joined, I hardly knew any programming, but what I did have was passion for the job. I had a lot of creativity, I just needed to find the right outlet for it. The reason I joined Lloyds was because, number one, it's a bank. We're going through a little bit of a crisis now in the UK. There's interest rates going up, recession going up. The banking is one sector that's really shielded from that. Interest rates goes up, bank still makes money. There's a recession, more people save, the bank still makes money. So that was the first thing, job security. Second thing is something I think everyone looks for but no one admits, is the salary. I earn pretty good amount of money for someone my age and someone on an apprenticeship scheme. I also get a end of year bonus depending on how well my department does. So that's one more incentive for me to carry on working there. The third thing is diversity. My team is very diverse. I have people in my team from all walks of life. I get to learn about different people's cultures. I get to make friends with people from around the world, and I'm always learning something different, and I always find that people that can contribute their own ideas from different workplaces and meeting settings, it gives you a new thought about the way you do your own work. Friendship-wise, I've met loads of other apprentices, met different people from all over different Lloyds branches across the UK. We have our Thursday pub drinks, Wednesday cheeky Nando's, so it's a really great place to work.
Thank you both, Billy and Jags. So they've both spoken about their apprenticeship journeys with us, and you might have noted that Billy and Jags mentioned that they both are doing different level apprenticeships. So Billy is on level 7 and Jags is on level 4. Now what does that even mean? So apprenticeships are split out across level 2 to level 7. Level 2/3 is around beginner intermediate level, so that's more focused around customer facing roles. It may be in the branch network, for example, so you can become a customer service service advisor on an apprenticeship program, support customers, vulnerable customers, and you can maybe even become a mortgage advisor and help people try and get on the property ladder. We also have apprenticeship programs level 4. That's around foundation degree or equivalent, so that's mainly aimed at those that have got A levels from college or sixth form. Level 6, level 7 are degree level apprenticeships. So level 6 is about BSc, BA, so that's the normal graduate scheme that you might take in terms of getting a degree, and level 7 is master's level or equivalent. So Billy, you mentioned that you were on level 7. Do you want to give any further more details around what that entails, please?
Yeah, so obviously as Amy mentioned, obviously it's a master's qualification we get. Each level 7 scheme at Lloyds is different, so it depends on which scheme you're on, what uni you'll study with, and also what qualification you get at the end of it. If I'm using myself as an example, so obviously again working in internal audit, so I go to Birmingham City University for my lectures, so every 2-3 months-ish I'll go down and spend 2-3 days in Birmingham, where I basically attend intensive study periods where I kind of cram in loads of content and make sure I understand it all. I also have weekly virtual lectures every Wednesday for 3 hours, so I'm getting kind of the content in through there as well. And I obviously do the uni exams and the coursework the same as you would if you were doing the scheme outside of working for Lloyds. The qualification I get is obviously a master's equivalent. I also become a chartered internal auditor, which is the highest qualification you can get in my industry of work, which is also qualifies you as a chartered accountant. So it's definitely a positive, right, the qualification side of it.
Thank you, Billy. And Jags, do you want to give more information about level 4, please?
Yeah, so mine's is quite similar. All my work is contained in my 9 to 5. So then the bank doesn't expect me to work past 5 p.m. for my apprenticeship. This is to promote mental health and to give you a bit of a social life that you might not probably find in other jobs. My course works in 2-week chunks every 6 months, where 2 weeks they ship us all out to a little centre in Milton Keynes, so I'm based in London. And for 2 weeks we study from 9 to 6, but the bank pays for our food, our accommodation, transport. So again, I'm not paying for anything. The bank's providing me with all the education I need. I do my 2 weeks, I come back and I'm back into the swing of things. For me, my qualification is industry recognised. It's not just a piece of paper a college hands you and says, "Oh, Jags has got A in this, B in that." It's actually something that if I was to move somewhere else later down the line, I could actually show them that, and it's a valid certificate. And that's partly why I don't see why a traditional degree, why you would pursue one nowadays. You still get the same education, but you're actually earning money and work and studying at the same time. So it's kind of like a win-win situation. So my course is similar to Billy's. The requirements are less than Billy's requirements because it's a lower level. Yeah, that's it.
Thank you, Jags and Billy. So now we'll open it up to all of you guys. Have you got any questions for us in terms of apprenticeships, what it has to offer? Any immediate questions that might spring to mind? And myself, Billy and Jags will be more than happy to answer them for you. Yes.
What's the salary like for your apprenticeships?
So I'm based in London. Naturally, everything there is way, way expensive. So my salary I've been working here for a year and a half, started off on 30k, and right now I'm on 33k, which is graduate pay for being an apprentice. It's quite nice, and a 1k bonus on top of that every year.
Cool. Yep. So obviously I had quite a different route to get into Lloyds. So I joined Lloyds straight out of college. So leaving college straight away, our starting salary was 26,000. I want to say. Around that when we first started. So obviously you could be 18 years old, which is a great salary to start on, right, with that kind of career path. I started doing that in September 2019. Since then I've had 2 or 3 pay rises. I'm now on 37,000 roughly a year. 3 years removed from college, which is good, right? Can't really fault that. So
thanks Billy and Jags. Just on that as well, just from me. So it varies in terms of salary. So it depends on which role you're applying for, which level of apprenticeship you're applying for, and in which department you're applying it for. So in audit, you've seen Billy's example where he's progressed in his 3 or so years. I say now that we've been at Lloyds Banking Group in terms of pay. Each department will have a different salary starting rate. I do know the minimum is 21,000, and that is usually for branch staff. However, like I said, every department is different and we are competitive. So when you do look for a role on our website, we do usually tend to advertise our pay scales as well alongside of that, but it's just one to just look out for when you do apply online. Thank you for your question.
So say you started at level 3, could you move on to a higher level as you go on in the course?
Thank you.
Yeah, in short, that's the short answer. Yes, you can. You'll tend to find that most apprenticeship schemes, that Lloyds want you to keep learning, keep developing. So obviously, the lower level apprenticeship you do, it tends to be shorter in terms of the scheme. You also can use the kind of the level 3s and the level 4s to then jump on to the higher level apprenticeships, right? So level 6s and 7s. That's actually what I did. So mine was a level 7 apprenticeship when I started, but for my first year, I did a level 4 qualification, so I have that as well, just to give me kind of the grounding that you need to then be able to do the more technical stuff as part of the level 7. So yes, in summary, you can.
Just adding on to that, we do offer apprenticeship programs for those who are willing to sort of change career pathway, looking to try something new, and we again it varies across level 2 to level 7. So it's that conversation to be had if you are interested in maybe changing a bit of a career pathway. We are very much open to that, and Lloyds Banking Group promote that.